guys, I'm Lauren Dalvia, astrologer and spiritual teacher, and this is an astrological update for October 11th through October 18th, 2020. The most important thing I will tell everybody, first of all, is that on Tuesday, the 13th, we have Mercury stationing retrograde for 3 weeks. And so that's going to be exposure of secrets and a push for deeper information, because that retrograde is happening while Mercury is in Scorpio. So it's really deep waters. Right now, on the 11th, when I'm recording this, we are already in that kind of stoppage. Anytime you're a few days or even like a week or so away from Mercury retrograde or out of it, there's like this sluggishness. When Mercury goes direct again, it takes a little bit for it to kind of move forward. It takes a couple days. So between now and the 13th, we're going to be kind of like dead stopped in the sky. It's going to be crunchy. It's going to be frustrating. And all the usual stuff for Mercury retrograde. So you want to cross every T and dot every I, quadruple check everything. Make sure that a text meant for your husband isn't sent to your boss. Like it's very easy for that to happen at this moment in time. Try not to buy any new electronics. If you could possibly wait until that's finished, do so. Try not to start anything brand new, especially in like a business venture way. But if you're resurrecting something that you started and set aside, it's actually a great time to this is, retrograde is the time, re-up, renew, reinvigorate, reorganize. It's a great time to purge, closets and do possession consciousness. It's also a really good time to connect with people from the past. So if you have an inclination to like call that friend, they're waiting for your call. It's a really, really great time. Again, I don't want to scare anyone, because if there are deals that need to be done and things that like cannot, that cannot be put off, you do them, you start them, you buy the car. But it's just knowing that like the propensity of problems is higher, and to be really, really vigilant. It's like sometimes we have to travel and fly and sign contracts during this time. So you just quintuple check everything. And like if it's a time situation and a travel situation, you just allow for extra time. Like you don't, I never, if I'm flying during Mercury retrograde, it's like it's different in a pandemic, but I used to fly back and forth to New York a lot. And it's like, you don't want to plan to get off that plane and like go right to dinner and right to the theater. It's like, just, like a little bit of calm, would be really good. So all right, that's happening. That's just something to keep in mind, and we're going to be in that for about 3 weeks. I'm going to go through some signs and just give a few hits on each sign. Aries, Jupiter is in your career sector, connected to Neptune. So there's kind of an area of growth and optimism that's being reactivated. The period that we're centering on this week is February 20th to July 27th. Like there's a reactivation from that period. So emerging goals, ambition, change in career, this can reach its full potential as dreams become reality for Aries. Mercury is in retrograde in your sector of shared resources. So you're going to look more deeply into debts and taxes, partners, finances, intimacy, psychological matters. It's really good for getting close to the truth this week. The new moon, which is on the 18th, is going to be in your partnership sector, and that's going to be opposite Mars retrograde in your sign. It's a relationship that's beginning, whether it's personal or professional, might be fraught, as drive and motivations could challenge the other person. So you just want to like be mindful of things starting in an unbalanced manner, and just like really go into that mindfully. Taurus, Jupiter is in your opportunities sector, connected to Neptune in this area of growth that's reactivated from February 20th to July 27th. So that's opportunity with travel, education, broadcasting, legal matters, publishing. This can reach fruition. Ideals can be integrated with concrete expansion and like concrete proof of faith and divinity. The Mercury retrograde is in your relationship sector. So You're going to be revisiting a conversation by taking it a step deeper, or being contacted by a partner from the past. Watch for relationship memos to intensify. The new moon that's coming up on the 18th is going to be in your sector of routine, so that could be jarring new chapters in terms of like methodology, routine, health, work, our obligations to others, like anything service oriented. So watch for unbalanced workloads and be mindful of self-care and service. There will be triggers in that area. So it's a really good time to like take extra care of yourself in that regard. Gemini, Jupiter is in your sector of shared resources, connected to Neptune, and that's reactivating that February 20th to July 27th period. So that's improvements in debts, taxes, partners' finances, intimacy, psychological matters. They're once again kind of suggested as future goals, idealized future goals, career dreams. These things get solidified. It's a really good thing. This is a nice placement for Geminis or Gemini risings. Mercury retrograde is in your sector of routine. That's perhaps a deep dive into ameliorating circumstances, flaws, corrections with regard to health, being of service, work, obligation, how we tend to things, methodology, methods, and messages about what must be done or what's wrong, might intensify as you kind of gain access to additional layers of the onion. Like you're just going to see more and, be able to integrate more, but like seeing more can also be seeing like what the holes, and so the holes that need to be fixed. The new moon is going to be in your sector of self-expression. That suggests an explosive new chapter involving attractions, creative work, celebration. You might be encouraged or pressured to put yourself out into the world. So there might be some delays socially, and there might be public expressions of anger connected to this, but you just want to like be mindful of social prompts and private rules and power pushes, and just kind of like hold your own within that. And just, I think a lot of like when there's a lot of these activations, it's just kind of like knowing that something's a thing can really protect. It's like nothing saves us from being activated in the way that we need to get activated, that like the divine wants us to be activated, but it can save us from like thinking that there's anything wrong with the fact that these things are happening. So like overall, and I'll say this again at the end of the tape, like, nothing is a setback, it's a setup. That is not more meant for Gemini than it is for every other sign. It's just like, no matter what happens, like how is something divine? Why is something divine will? Because it's happening. Cancer. Jupiter is in your relationship sector connected to Neptune, and that is reactivating an area of growth and optimism from February 20th to July 27th. That area is being reactivated. That's partnership goals. Dreams can solidify. Personal, professional, relationship growth can increase. There can be mutual faith and compassion. This is a really yummy placement. Moving ahead together, whether it's a business venture or romantic love or, anything like that is quite supported. Mercury retrograde is in your sector of self-expression, and that can intensify like new attractions, new business, and can integrate a return to like an earlier flirtation or romance or friendship or business venture. This is also not a time to rush things. No retrograde period is, but just to know that like this is a time for Cancer to have second thoughts, allow information to emerge. The new moon is in your domestic sector, so that can be a little rocky for like domestic relationships or new chapter in family issues. It could be just a new chapter in a home business or family issues or a new home. There could be external pressure or delays, and that might deliver like, I don't know, you just might be unexpected what emerges from that. You want to be careful, like just pay attention to a partner's rules or authority or relationship to service, and that can like kind of define things and amplify things, and just to be aware that that area is activated and you want to move forward slowly and mindfully. Leo. Jupiter is in your sector of routine connected to Neptune, reactivating growth and optimism from this period from February 20th to July 27th. So that's work routine, service, health, methodology, like just the way we do things, animals and plants even, will once again be areas of potential to tap into hidden resources, whether it's actual material resources or resources within. And you want to look beyond old ways of being. Mercury retrograde is in your domestic sector, and that indicates a return to or review of information from the past. So there may be delays and revisions around domestic documents or home business or something like that, but know that if it is, it's like things are being worked out behind the scenes for your benefit. The new moon is in your communication sector, and that suggests an unbalanced power answer or argument. There's like intensified ideals or anger. Like this is a quite a crunchy new moon that's coming up, and it's weird for everybody. So you just want to be like mindful, really, really gentle with yourself, really, really lots of water, lots of rest, whatever you're able to give yourself. This is a pressure kind of new moon for Leos. So this is connected to excess responsibilities at work or home, and a need to kind of define what's happening next. So you might feel pushed into a certain direction. You want to focus on middle ground right now, and almost like pray or ask about what middle ground might be, at least this week. Like, don't allow others to kind of take over and like decide what your answers may be. Virgo, Jupiter is in your area of self-expression, connected to Neptune, activating this area between February 20th and July 27th. So this is a creative goal or a romantic situation, can see nice optimism and like codification in your favor. It's a nice placement. Mercury retrograde is in your communication sector, and that supports specific intuition and clear research to go, to really ply the layers of the onion back and see what's there and find the insight and the results, the revelations that you're looking for. This is, it's true for everybody, but this is certainly like a messenger time period for Virgos. Like definitely it's quite likely that someone from the past or a message from the past will appear. This new moon is going to be in your sector of personal resources. It's on the 18th, and but the run up, we feel it as well. So your personal resources, this is going to bring about sort of this is unbalanced finances and self-esteem. This isn't bad. None of this is bad. It's like, just like if something's unbalanced, it's showing us where the shaking is so that we can move into balance, but that we can clean out what isn't serving us. So motivations connected to anger of someone else, this is going to impact sense of security and personal relationships and self-esteem. There's going to be focus on what you want. It's going to define your path forward. You want to be careful of overspending, and just know that like confidence might be a little bit seesaw-ish this week, and to just the balance of like contentment and like self-sufficiency is going to be kind of up against other people's influence right now. Libra, Jupiter is in your domestic sector, connected to Neptune, reactivating growth and optimism from February 20th to July 27th. This is a subtle shift in routine or the ability to kind of transcend old daily habits. This is going to encourage abundance in a home or family situation. It's really good for like building a foundation anew. Mercury retrograde is in your sector of personal resources. It can trigger a close look at like how much money you're making, what is really going on with your finances, how you're making it, what your values around it are, what your relationship to abundance and prosperity really are. And an invitation to call those things in, to make declarations for the future, and to realize that you are abundance itself, not you, Libra, as opposed to anyone else at this moment in time. Just like that is the natural state that we all are in, if only we would tap into it. So is this, conversations, documentation, literal events around finances may be delayed, but this can enable, where the work to be done is, and like can like allow valuable information to be revealed. So this energy can kind of encourage you to really ask questions around what you're worth and what you want to create in this world right now, what declarations you want to make. This new moon is in your sign, and it can feel really edgy as the actions of a partner, whether it's personal or professional, can challenge you. A new chapter in your life will be defined by pressures at home. This is consisting of growth. This is consisting of major change. This is consisting of additional responsibility. Like, you might struggle to find your balance, but you have to keep moving forward. Just walk forward a step at a time, a day at a time, an hour at a time. And focus on what you do naturally. You want to identify the points of integration from various conflicting scenarios. I know with Libra stuff, there's a lot of balance and there's a lot of this way and that way. It's like you just want to invite the integration. I say prayer, I say asking. I love both. I'm not religious, but I love both of those, that like ask and ye shall receive. If you feel lost in this regard, just ask and know that like you're not missing it. When I ask, I kind of ask that the sign be very clear, be very loud. And then it is, so this energy can really, this is like the divine is going to be guiding you towards your agenda. Other people needn't dominate that for you. They can inform that, but just like this is between you and the universe. And that is the real information to be distilled and acted upon. Scorpio. Jupiter is in your communication sector connected to Neptune. That's reactivating growth and optimism between February 20th and July 27th. So once again, this is like idealistic stuff, creative stuff, romance stuff. This can be defined by your words, and there's a gentle expansion that's possible right now. Really good for communication. It's really good for being clear and being inspiring in our communication. And Scorpio gets a bad rap, but one of the reasons why Scorpio are so wonderful as communicators is because they do cut through. It's it can be blunt, it can be passionate, but it's true blue, and that is very important. So this is a time for that to trust that, to know that that's there, and to let it shine. The Mercury retrograde is in your sign, and that's pausing and turning inward. That's processing delay and like pausing to do that. That is, of course, messages from the past and messengers. It might be more of a time to kind of hang back and let answers come. If there's a deeper truth that you feel is like that's possible, that there's a deeper truth. Like if I don't know the answer, it means I don't know the answer yet. And that's possible this week for Scorpios, of like, I don't actually need to react, because I'm not actually, I don't feel truly sure. I feel like there's more to the picture. If you feel like there's more to the picture, there's more to the picture. So this new moon is in your hidden sector. And it suggests this like start of a private chapter. There's delay and frustration involved in that because of this retrograde period. That's connected to daily life. There could be increased pressure connected to work, to the way we do things, plants and animals, obligations, health. But it's going to push you across that kind of space bridge. And even if no one else sees what's happening, you see what's happening. And for now, there's no need to like be like loud about it. Though I will say, like, I'm a big advocate for, having, like, being really honest with, at least a couple people in our lives, like really sharing day to day what's going on. So I want to be clear. I'm not telling Scorpios to like keep everything a secret. It's just like to like, be careful about who you let into like this process, because it is very much still unfolding. Sagittarius. Jupiter is in your sector of personal resources. That's connected to Neptune and reactivating this area of growth and optimism between February 20th and July 27th. So this is subtle expansion of financial and emotional security. This is based on your ability to release patterns from the past. So that means the processing of those patterns is going to come up. That's the uncomfortable part, but the potential for growth and shifting is really, really beautiful this week. In some cases, this can indicate growth of like a home business. Mercury is in your hidden sector, this retrograde. So this offers increased intuition, psychic abilities, dreams, and this reveals issues of like like just where you're not looking, blind spots, secrets can also emerge. All of this could be uncomfortable, but it's all getting you to the other side of the bridge. This new moon is in your social sector, and it kind of delivers this new chapter based on intense effort, and perhaps some frustration. So the delays and blocks that are connected to this new moon and this Mercury retrograde, it's around getting what you want, like the delays around getting what you want, whether it's creative or romantic, or both. This could fuel anger, public anger, just displays of emotion. So you want to be mindful of both optimism and control right now. Again, rest, water, talk to God. I say God, but higher power or the divine. I mean, it's up to you, the universe. Public relationships might be edgy. Friendships can be edgy. You're dealing with a new scenario. This is a lot of change that's happening. I don't mean just this week, but there's a real shift. So you want to resist the urge to force your view on others, and just to kind of like, or resort to like extreme tactics to get your point across. That like there's different ways that you can be as communicative and clear as you are very gifted at being, like with different ways of being that can serve your cause and the cause of the universe itself in a greater way, and in a more compassionate and innovative and spiritual way, and result inducing way, if you will. Capricorn. Jupiter is in your sign, connected to Neptune, activating this area of growth and optimism from February 20th to July 27th. This is dreams, words, idealism, goals, ideas. This can be made real. It's structured expansion, determined optimism. Project and lifestyle changes can be really supported right now. Mercury is in retrograde in your social sector. It's a time for deeper conversation with friends. You can really get to the actual truth right now. You can increase your awareness of like this well of resources that's within you that perhaps has been untapped for either a long time or always. The new moon is in your career sector. This is a new chapter that's connected to delays and effort. There's a lot of effort and a lot of delays in these Mercury times. So what's gonna come up is a lot about structure and the exercising of power. So new jobs, new goals. There's a lot of ambition, but pushing hard right out of the gate is not advisable. You want to chill, be moderate, be gentle. Aquarius. Jupiter is in your hidden sector, connected to Neptune, reactivating this area of growth and expansion, or optimism rather, from February 20th to July 27th. So you want to watch for a subtle background increase in security and hope based on changes in your approach to travel, just romance, finance, emotional security, willingness. In some cases, you might have a new source of monies. This can grow. There's kind of like unexpected boons for you right now, Aquarius. Mercury is retrograde in your career sector, so that's delays and reviews to a job. This is personal image. This is future goals. I love retrograde periods because it's a period for like what we think we lost comes back if it's meant to. And I really like that for Aquarius right now, as well as a new dawn rebirthing of like, actually, this is the direction I want to take my career. And all of these things that I've been working on all these years support that. But like, I'm actually pointing it in like a very specific direction that is anew from where I once was. So you want to focus on what you can learn about the past and then be clear about the existing situation. You might be dealing with, upper management bosses. If you're your own boss, just like the hierarchy, this could be an intense time of dealing with that. There could be clashing. So it just kind of helps to know that and be prepared for that. The new moon is in your opportunities sector. So that is connected to, new beginnings, perhaps volatile in areas of like broadcasting, education, legal matters, publishing, travel, long distance romance. Emerging situations could be, could be fueled by repeated arguments or a return to like earlier things that were stressful. You want to be mindful of your ambition and your background fears, and kind of like check in with presence, so that those things aren't ruling where you go. Venus is in your area of shared resources, and it's opposite Neptune right now, and so that could be confusing and like less than helpful in terms of debts, taxes, partners, finances, intimacy, and psychological matters. So you want to be careful. Like when Neptune's involved, it's a little what you see isn't what you get. So it actually is a beautiful energy for releasing old patterns of security that could involve sacrifice, and like inviting, just like feeling comfortable enough to invite new ways of being in. And finally, Pisces. Jupiter is in your social sector, connected to Neptune, and reactivating this growth and optimism from February 20th to the 27th of July. This is gradual expansion of a social group, contracts that are public, a public image. This is connected to manifesting personal hopes and dreams. Mercury is retrograde in your opportunities sector, and that suggests delays and reviewing of areas of publishing, travel, long distance relationships, legal matters, education. There's lessons to be learned from information rather than adding more. It's like just listening. Go for depth instead of breadth. A wonderful astrologer that I love to read, she said that. I thought that's a great adage for this week. For Pisces, go for depth instead of breadth. The new moon is in your sector of shared opportunities. So that's a new chapter in the area of like partner finances, loans, intimacy, psychology, debts, taxes, death, all that stuff, all that juicy stuff. So, efforts to get what you need and protect yourself as well. This could trigger unbalance, but, and trigger feeling funny about security, but like you want to use that activation as a prompt to correct these imbalances. It's a really fertile time to be doing that. You might have to abandon efforts to help or heal other people. Like it's a good time to check into that Al-Anon energy of like, I just need to take care of my side of the street. And with Pisces, it's actually harder to know what my side of the street is because there's so much boundlessness and boundarylessness. To just do you and really take really good care of yourself and not be as like fixated on partners, I guess, whether they be business, friends, or romantic. And as I said, crunchy new moon on the 18th, crunchy period of retrograde. It's already begun, but the retrograde fully begins on Tuesday, the 13th. Stay safe, stay sane, stay tuned into the divine. My information can be found on the Bene Mudra website. I am available for private consultation as a spiritual teacher and an astrologer. My name is Lauren Dalvia, and I can be found on Instagram at 1111guided is my business Instagram, and you spell the words 11 out, and at Lauren1111, and you spell the words 11 out is my personal Instagram. And I thank you so much. Have a beautiful, calm week.